Hiya, this is a view of my Pi camera using OctoPrint. And see the red flashes. I'll let you watch this bit. Sometimes you get a full screen of red. Now I think the problem here is that I think it's 5 meters, certainly no less than 3 meter cable. And that cable goes quite close to power supplies and other electronics. So I think that's picking up interference as it's coming over. So I'm going to try to do a sort out of this problem. Now I've been looking online for like some sort of screening or something, and I can't really find any. There are like ferret cores that you can get that will clip on or go around a ribbon cable. Yeah, ribbon cable. I've seen them on some sites, but that's about the limit. Now there is an idea that you can have one of the cables like normal signal, another one earth or ground, another one like a normal signal, and another one ground. That's going to double the cables. I've also thought about maybe getting 2 other ribbon cables the same size and putting one each side and just connecting those to earth or ground, as some people might call it. That would have an advantage. If I tape all that together, it would make this ribbon cable that bit stronger. But the other idea I've had is using some tin foil, aluminium foil, or for the Americans, aluminum foil. Wrap that round and then put some like cling film around that to insulate it. Having that tin foil connected to the earth or to the ground. Okay, now you get a good look at this terrible flashing. I mean, it's a really good quality video, and it's quite. You might see me wait until the head moves out the way. I'm going to click my fingers to show you there's very, very little latency as well. This is Raspberry Pi 3 I'm using, an OctoPrint. There's my hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click. There's a bit of latency, but very little indeed. Well, particularly compared with my other security cameras I've tried doing this with. Okay, I'm going to pause this video here, and I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to pause the video exactly, I'm going to pause showing you this on the screen, and I'll show you how I'm going to try to resolve this. I'm going to put some aluminium foil around and possibly something like cling film to insulate that aluminium foil. As I say, it's a 5 meter long cable, I believe, so it's probably picking up interference. So here's my Pi camera in its mount. I'll put a link, STL file, put that down here, and you can see how long my cable is. All the way over here. Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. And keep on going. And keep on going. And eventually it stops. It's about 5 meters. And now this sort of loops around on my sort of server cabinet drawer or tray, I think they might call it. I'll put a link about that down here. And I think it's certainly, this length is picking up a lot of interference. It does not need to be this long, not even with my server drawer, which I want to open in and out, which has a Pi on this server drawer thing. Well, it's not a drawer, it's more of a shelf, I think. So the plan here, what I plan to do, because of the interference which causes that red flashing, I believe, is wrap it up in some kitchen foil. Yes, turkey foil, that's what they're calling it. So wrapping up turkeys with chickens or anything like that, aluminum, Some people have even known it as tin foil. Wrap it up in that, and then to give it some insulation, possibly, wrap it up in some cling film here. Now it is possible to get tape, EMI I think tape it is. That's tape, and I was thinking of getting some of that. That might be easier than mucking about with this. But then that would have to also be insulated somehow, because it's sort of copper one side and adhesive the other side, and you could stick one side, one the other. The other idea was to get two lots of ribbon cable, put one side, one the other, and both of those will go to ground. Now some people say alternate these, can't really do that with this, but alternate the cables, like a ground one, a signal one, a ground one, a signal one in ribbon cables. That can help reduce interference. So, and I'm going to go try and do this all in one long thing. So I want about 5 metres of this foil out. Going to waste an awful lot. Now probably there are two sides of foil. I think they roll them like two together like this under the rollers, and one gets a very glossy side, and likewise on the bottom side it gets a glossy side, and when they open them, although this side is also pretty glossy, it's not quite so glossy. That shouldn't impact on anything at all. So I'm just going to measure this roughly to length. Straighten it out a bit. Quite luckily, this ribbon cable is narrower than the width of this plastic ruler I have, so probably this is just a normal, well, 12-inch 30cm ruler. Doesn't matter what type of ruler really, that's just something to fold it round, like a template to fold it round. So I'm going to start doing that. I'll rip off this here. It should have a serrated thing on it, I think, somewhere. Oh well, I'll cut it. Well, this says 5 metres actually, approximate. So I can't see my wire being 5 metres. There's still plenty of foil left. Move that out the way. It's quite easy to. It's quite. What you doing up there? All the creaking floorboards. I thought you were going to be watching something. Can you do it on the bed and stop creaking about? Because I'm trying to do a video. You are. You're the one creaking the floorboards all like mad. Yeah, it is. It's your fault. It's your fault. might see, I'll just put my foot out to make sure I've got this in frame. Down here, it is springing out a bit, but I'll put that in as I'm going to fold this over, like again, to wrap the foil round it. So it's like fold it over, well I'll fold it over that way because it'll be easier than moving that big part. Again, I'll show you the beginning of that. I want this camera upside down. I should put the lens. Don't throw out the lens protector that comes with this camera. I'm tucking that under there. Just make sure that's getting in the camera. I think it is, yeah. Tucking that under there so that's like folded over again. Again, I'm going to continue on like that. Just do the next bit. Let's push this inside. So this is, I've tested this with a multimeter that it is pretty conductive. I'm going to continue on like that all the way to the end. Actually the foil is a little bit longer than the cable here, so I'll have to cut some of the foil off the end, but basically I think that'll be it. I might fold it over again actually. Doesn't have to be the neatest of jobs, I don't think. Right, there we are, that's all the length done, where it's been folded over almost on top of each other. Now the question is, I don't know, I don't think I will, but you could fold it like over again just to make sure, but I don't think I'll bother with that. I'll probably just leave it as it is, cut up here along that edge with some scissors, and I'll come back. So there we are. I've cut it up along there, not the neatest of cutting. I don't think it matters too much. Just using some household sort of scissors. Quite easy to cut. It's quite easy to tear this actually, so be careful when you're using it. Now, this is not for something that's going to be moving about a lot, I don't think. I plan to probably have this stationary, but we'll see how things possibly go in the future. So the idea here is to act a bit like a Faraday cage going around the outside of this ribbon cable, because this will be it, connected to a wire going to earth, as some people call it, or ground, as some other people might call it. Right, the next step is probably put some cling film around it. Some of this cling film around it to insulate it from any electrical stuff, because this is conductive. You want it to be conductive to sink any like interference down to earth or down to the ground. So this is the cling film I tend to use. It's come open this box to the serrated edge here for helping you tear bits off. So I'll probably be just using scissors. That's the plan anyway. Probably going to do similar to what I've done with this. Hopefully get this down on the floor, put this on top on the edge, and then fold it over a couple of times probably that's to act as an insulation, because we don't want this touching any electrical contacts that might be near your ramps or control boards or anything like that. So the turkey foil I used, I'll show you the make just now. Turkey foil, it says 5 meters. Kitchen corner, that's what it says. Anything for wrapping chickens, turkeys in, roasts in. Okay, let's get on with it. I'll lay that down here first. I have a feeling this is not going to be easy, but we'll see. So actually probably is better out the box now. I can put it down in such a way I can unroll it like along here onto the floor. Now it does stick to itself. Something a bit heavier than that actually. So you've got something a bit heavier than that to weigh down that edge. So just put this teapot down there, hopefully that will be a bit heavier. Put my fingers on each end of the roll and start rolling it out. It is transparent, so watch what you're doing. You mightn't even see it now. Now that's folded over a bit, like here. Don't know how easy that's going to be to unravel actually. But I'll probably be laying this foil part that I've done onto this edge that's closest to the camera, because that's pretty straight. Not sure how well you can see this cling film, but it's just laid over the edge there. I'll move that other end up there over a bit when I come to do it. Now I don't know whether to unroll it almost all the way first and then try to do it, or try to do like half of it at a time or quarter of it at a time. Thinking about it, it will be easier to unroll it all the way first, so I'll do that. So I'm going to remove these off here now so that I can fold that end, that wide end over the top over here. Now it should, there is a bit of an edge sticking out of this cling film all along this edge. Where there isn't, I'll make sure there is before I fold it over. So it should sort of cling to itself. Basic idea. And that as a plastic insulation, like on wire, hopefully. I'll try to show you this. It's a bit awkward for me. I'm going to grab this and just fold it over there. Push this a bit where the crease is. Trying to make sure there's some stuck out underneath here for this to grip onto. It's quite difficult to do this. I thought it might be a bit awkward to do. If need be, I'll fold that over again. Just going to struggle along. It's quite difficult to see actually. I was thinking this was narrower than it is, that's why. Is that torn? Yes, it is. It's quite easy to tear. Almost too easy to tear there. Is that torn, or is it just, is it torn, or has it just come out? So this wants to go underneath there, I think. Not on there. It's folded over on itself quite a bit, this. You can probably do a better job than I can, because I am not one of the neatest persons when it comes to this. I just don't have the patience and such like. But you get the basic idea here. I'm going to continue on like that, doing the best I can, trying to wrap it round it as I go. I thought that was torn there, but it isn't actually. It's just that it's so wide that it'll come underneath it. This will strengthen the foil a little bit. I don't think this is very strong, this plastic, at all. So I wouldn't say it's good insulation. I'll continue on anyway until it's finished. Not perfect, but probably not too bad. Well, there we are. It's not the neatest of jobs, but I think that should do. I'll go and put this back on my unit and we'll see if it flashes again. Red flashes like I showed you earlier. I mean, it was plugged in well. It's plugged in each end well. It's not that. I think it's definitely the length being uninsulated, not like in a Faraday cage, which this should do for it. So I'll put this on my printer. We'll see if it still flashes. Well, here it is, just starting to print the 10mm calibration cube, and I haven't seen any red flashes. Now, I did not connect this sort of foil to an earth. It's just wrapped round like I showed you, the aluminium foil wrapped round the ribbon cable, and then some cling film wrapped round that. Doesn't affect the display. This is taken straight off the screen, boy. I'm trying to do a time lapse of this as well, so we'll see how both of them come out. This is quite a quick print. So I might leave it running all the time, just to see if I can see any flashes at all. Let's take that cursor off the screen. So this is really the quality of this Pi camera. It's pretty good quality, very good quality really. It's not pure 4K, but then the Raspberry Pi 3 can't really handle 4K, my understanding. The Raspberry Pi 4, when it comes out, should be able to handle 4K. There I am, sat at my computer waving. Thank you for all the likes, thumbs up. Yep. Well, no flashes seen by me. There's a little bit, you might see a little bit of a red there. That's off the BL Touch, which is like the other side of this print head. LED in there is glowing red. That's a red glow, but there's no red flashes. I haven't seen any red flashes, which were pretty bad before I put this sort of foil round and the cling film around that. I thought I might actually have to ground or earth the foil, but I haven't had to do that. It's been enough just to put the foil round and then the cling film round. I think I am getting a little bit of like what the term is tearing in the video when it's moving ahead quite fast. I think that's what they call it, or it's going blurry anyway. Can't quite cope with that all that too well, but it's pretty good quality picture that of the print head. 10mm cube. It's the calibration cube. It's for a quick test print. I don't normally pull my server cabinet drawer. Well, it's not a drawer, it's more of a tray. I don't normally pull that out all that much, but sometimes I do when I'm working. Like when I put the Raspberry Pi in, I had to pull the tray out, for example. Just going to check my LCD 12864. Yep, that's working. Progress bar shown on that. Yep. I'm turning 40 degrees on the heat bed. Elmer's glue stick on the silica glass there. 210 on the nozzle for PLA. I might speed up this video because I don't think there's going to be any more flashing. Great. That was I went easier than what I thought, really. I thought it mightn't even work, that idea. But it seems to work fine. Now, it's not something I would recommend, really. I was thinking of putting a Pi camera actually on the print head, but that would be moving about a lot, and I don't know how well it would handle moving about. But it's a prototype sort of idea to sort of pour Faraday cage round the ribbon cable. I think it's 26 wires. Don't quote me on that for the Raspberry Pi. I think it's 26 wires. This camera was advertised as 5MP, but it's only 3MP. It's about 1,660, I think, pixels wide. I can't remember the height. That's probably all a Pi 3 can handle anyway. Don't quote me on any of these quotations. I'm pretty new to the Raspberry Pi and pretty new to OctoPrint. I am using OctoPrint. This is looking at OctoPrint. I've zoomed in using the normal, like Chrome zoom. I am using Chrome. Watch this. I'll zoom out a bit to show you. Let's do. So that's like normal. When I zoom in like this, I have to muck about with this, like cursor keys. So this is like screen capture in OctoPrint. And no red. Great. While that's going, I won't show you this, but while that's going, I'm going to also load it up on my phone to see if anything's, see if it's okay. before it finishes off, before it's getting near the end now. OctoPrint does not seem to want to remember my user login details for some reason. Yes, it's working on my mobile phone. I cannot rotate on my mobile phone. It doesn't allow me to rotate the image, which is a bit not so good. Right, it's actually finishing off this print now. I can't remember what level of roll on I've gotten after the print is finished. No red flashes. I think there might be a bit more latency on the phone than on the screen. Don't quote me on that. Not too bad. It's definitely finishing off because I can hear the speed of the print there. Let me have a look. Yeah, it says 93% done. 2 minutes left, it's saying on OctoPrint on my phone. It's going all right. And there we are, it's finished. Bit of a minor end string there. There I am. It's my computer. And I've got my back to the printer. It's behind me. Okay, it will be. I'm a bit blurry because it's focused more on the print than on me, so to speak, where I'm sat. I don't know when it classes the finish of the print. Let me do. I'll get to play a tune to tell me it's finished. Control 0 does a zoom to 0. Let's go on time lapse. It hasn't done anything yet. Might be still working on the video actually. If it does do the time lapse, I'll show you the time lapse video. But that's fine. That little trick has seemed to work fine. I'll show you the time lapse video if one's come out just now. Well, now anyway. It is doing a time lapse. So just got this message up just now. Now we're ending time lapse. So it's just a matter of waiting now. Sorry if the volume's gone down, but I'll move the microphone off me because I thought it had finished without doing the time lapse. But no, I wanted to almost totally finish the commands, the G code end commands. I do have a delay in my G code end commands to play another tune when the bed's supposed to be at 32 degrees, but that doesn't work too well. So as it's saying, you're not recommended to start another print. I asked for 1 picture per second, so it should be quite a biggish time lapse, I imagine. Normally it's doing 25 frames a second of video, 25 frames, so it'll be about 1/25 of the time. Print time is as good as saying 20 minutes. You might as well say 20 minutes, but that I think that includes warming up and cooling down and such like. Time lapse ready. So when your time lapse is done, go in there and there's the file. Going to download this. Going to put it in downloads. Just stick it in downloads. So here's the file I've just downloaded. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, I want to open in Media Player Classic. Always use that. This is it in time lapse. It's doing the auto leveling. Now it's starting to print. So this is 1 frame per second, I believe. Time lapse. Now might look like better because the head's not having to move a lot for this print. It's just a 10mm test cube. And there we are, it's finished. There I am behind. And a bit of a roll on. So that was a time lapse. Let's finish off with that. Yep, that has worked, that idea. Remember, I did not actually ground the tin foil or the aluminium foil. I thought I might have to, but I did not have to actually ground or earth it.